The City of Ekurhuleni in Gauteng could have a new council speaker by the end of the day. Councillors are expected to elect a replacement after Dora Mlambo was redeployed to serve as a member of the mayoral committee. Two candidates have been nominated for the position, the African Transformation Movement's John Senona and the economic freedom fighters Nkululeko Dunga. Dunga has been an EFF councillor for several years, previously serving as speaker before being removed through a motion of no confidence amid shifting political allegiances in the metro. The vote comes ahead of the backdrop of continued political turbulence in Ekurhuleni. The coalition there appears fragile, and disagreements between the ANC and the EFF have repeatedly destabilised council's leadership. Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Makhoali is tracking the story, joins us now. Veronica, good afternoon to you. There have been very important developments in Ekurhuleni over the last couple of weeks. What are we expecting now?
Yeah, that's correct, Stephen. The election of a new speaker happening against the backdrop of political instability that has taken place within the walls of this chamber. There has been a consistent reshuffle within the metro, from speakers to MMCs, all of this just happening really in a number of just weeks. And so we understand that now, of course, nominations were held earlier, as you've mentioned, John Senona from the ATM, as well as Nkululeko Dunga from the EFF. And this is, of course, significant because of the fact that he had initially held this position. We understand that the ANC, from a source telling us that they had actually, in fact, spoken earlier to some of the smaller parties where they initially tried to field the DA candidate forward, but the DA today saying that it will not be taking place, not only in terms of fielding a candidate, but also in the voting process in terms of selecting a speaker today. And we understand that the next possible candidate for the ANC was John Senona from the ATM. They did also, in fact, speak to the EFF, but they've made it very clear that they will be fielding a candidate of their own. And in fact, they believe that the position should go back to the Red Berets, who had, of course, held that position earlier on following an agreement between the two parties, being the ANC and the EFF. But at this particular moment, Stephen, voting is currently underway. There is no saying just as to how long this will possibly take. They've adjourned for just an hour to allow that voting to of course, happen, and for them to be able to essentially decide as to who then will be elected. But this is a particular turning point for the city of Ekurhuleni, because what has been taking place, particularly within this council, it's a metro that has seen instability, and it's raised concerns, particularly about governance and oversight in the municipality. And this is, of course, against the backdrop of allegations of misconduct within the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department. So much of that department has come under scrutiny because processes that initially, in fact, should have been tabled before this very council were not. And so it seems to be an oversight as well, because of what happens within the walls of this chamber, ultimately affecting not just departments like EMPD, but the running really of the metro of Ekurhuleni. It's a metro that really has come under focus because of just what has been transpiring, particularly when it comes to political shifts, political realliances. But also at the heart of this issue continues to be that, disagreement, really, if you will, between the ANC and the EFF. The EFF has continued to say that the leadership here is somewhat pushing them out, is somewhat disregarding them, and of course not considering and upholding the fact that this is a coalition government. But the EFF saying that they will be putting Nkululeko Dunga forward, and we'll see as to what will transpire when those votes are counted. Stephen.
Veronica Makhoali, thank you very much indeed. Important developments in Ekurhuleni.